Hi, I'm Alec Roach here with Jonathan Hayden with Linton-Stock Student Press, and we're here with
Coach Oliver.
Thank you for speaking with us today.
Yep. How you doing?
So you recently won the state title after the Miners were state runner-ups. How can you describe that feeling?
Well, it's kind of a hard of a feeling to describe. I mean, it's pretty exciting. It's a good honor. It's a great honor to be able to do something like that, especially for the school. I mean, it hasn't happened since 1910, so it's been long overdue for the school, not just football, but for the school in general.
Okay, what made this year more successful than last year?
One thing that made us a little more successful this year, the experience from last year being runners-up, and then plus going in there and having a lot of leadership. Last year we only had 8 or 9 seniors. This year we had 16, so that leadership was huge for us this year.
What was the hardest part of this season?
The hardest part of the season was probably keeping the kids focused week to week. After beating Monrovia week 3, then our schedule kind of got a little easier at times, so the kids could have easily went and not been focused and working hard. They could have easily stepped back and started being relaxed and not focus on improving each week. So that was probably the hardest part, just picking on little things just for the kids to improve on each week to help us get over and get to where we needed to go.
How do you keep the football team inspired throughout the season?
Well, there are a lot of different things that we do throughout the week and throughout the year to keep them inspired. One of our things we always do is a team slogan, and each year we've done that. This year was "Earn It," because last year we were fortunate enough to make it to state, but we wanted to make sure and let them know that, hey, you know what, it's not going to be given to you again. You got to go out and earn it every single day, no matter whether you're on the field, in the classroom, in the community. You have to go out and earn that. Be able to go out there, and that's one of the biggest things. And we're always about our L. We got an L in the locker room, L on the field. It's always about protecting that L and the L on the helmet.
Awesome.
So the Miners move into Class 2A next year, correct?
Yep.
How do you think you'll do in Class 2A?
Well, that'll be an interesting thing to see. I mean, we haven't been in 2A since the early 90s, and we didn't do very well then. But our program's going along. We lose a lot of seniors, so it really depends on who we get to come out and really work hard in the off season. So we got a lot of spots to fill. Depending on what section they put us in, if they put us in the southern one with modern day, it's going to be pretty tough. If they put us in the northern one where we replace Monrovia, because Monrovia bumps up to 3A. If we fill in their spot, I feel pretty confident that we can compete in that sectional. This year, if we would have played in 2A, I believe that we could have competed as well.
When you first started coaching the Miners, what were some fears or worries you had?
Well, one of my biggest fears always is losing, and especially losing to Sullivan. I don't want to lose to Sullivan on anything. If you lose to Sullivan a lot, you won't last long around here. That's always the biggest fear going out there. I mean, because the expectation is always usually to go out and win. But I'm not always about winning. I want to make sure we do it the right way. So that's always the biggest fear, going out there and letting the kids down and letting the community down.
After coaching for 3 years, how has coaching changed you?
Well, one thing, it's coaching really has made me time management wise. I have to really plan out my days, plan out my weeks, and especially with my kids in sports as well. I missed a lot of my daughter's volleyball stuff, so it's time management and then trying to adjust with the family time as well. I'm just trying to squeeze everything in, but also realize that I can't control everything. Some things I got to let go, and I can't overwhelm myself.
So, pre-game, what do you say to the team to get them kind of hyped up for that game?
Well, it really depends week by week and the opponent who we're playing. One of the biggest things that I always tell them is just go out there and just play minor football. It doesn't matter who we play. We always just go out there and play minor football, and usually that takes care of itself. When I say that, play minor football, it's just not just a, hey, it's about representing the school, representing the jerseys, the people before you, going out there and being hard-nosed and being physical and just playing the right way. And that's what we mean by playing minor football, just being so physical that you go out there and dominate someone.
So after 3 years of coaching, you have a record of 37-5. How would you say you maintain that record?
Well, I mean, being able to have a great coaching staff to come out and work hard for us and get the kids ready. And the kids, I mean, they work hard in the off season, and just them coming out there. And I've been pretty fortunate to have some good players come through as well.
When you played on the Miners back in 1995, did you ever think that you would be the head coach?
No, I never really did. I never really had a desire to. I didn't really, even in my senior year, I didn't know what I wanted to do. And then going into my spring year, Coach Rick Wellington was here. He asked me to help with the junior high, so I got the coaching bug then. And then when I went to school and college, I realized, you know what, I wanted to be a shop teacher, so I started coaching then. And so right then and there, I just knew I wanted to be assistant. And if a coaching job came along, then I would try to go for it. And so back in the day, no, I really didn't at that time. But once I went into school and I got the taste of it, that's what I wanted to do.
What have your own coaches in the past said or done that has inspired you as a coach?
There's been a lot of coaches that have really helped me over the years. I mean, you look at Coach Wellington, who's got me started in it. You even looked at Coach Weber, who probably taught me most of the knowledge of the game, because you look at the two different styles with Coach Wellington and Coach Weber. One of them just go out there. One thing that always sticks with me with Coach Wellington when he was here, he says, get to know the kids. You got to develop relationships with the kids. And so he said, make a point to talk to every single kid. So every day, every coach talks to as many kids as possible, and just to see them, just to check on them, and just talking to them, not just coaching them, but just to get to know them so you can develop that relationship. And once you do that, and then usually they can buy into what we're trying to do.
Is there anyone that you try to model your coaching after?
Well, I try to model them, well, the two previous guys I just talked about, Coach Wellington and Coach Weber. Coach Wellington was more of an inspirational organization kind of guy, and then Coach Weber was an X and O's kind of coach. So I try to model them both, where I have plenty of knowledge of the game, but also with Coach Wellington, he was the guy that would get the guys motivated and do all the little things like that. So I try to do both of them. Just not one coach I just want to be like. There's multiple coaches that do a lot of good things, so I try to resemble all of them.
So, moving on to teaching, how does teaching your players compare to coaching them while on the football field?
Well, it actually makes it a little easier at times, because if they don't do what I tell them to do in class, I can get them at practice. So it makes it a lot easier that way. But at times, on Fridays, they get a little bit more relaxed and stuff. So being in a shop-oriented class, it makes it a little easier, because they can go out there and work and stay somewhat busy. Instead of sitting in a classroom where they have to try to listen to a teacher talk, now they can go out there and work and try to build something or draw, whatever they're doing for that week. So in a mindset, yeah, it's a little easier to have them in class, because I know I have better control over them.
What inspires you to keep on teaching?
Well, I love the fact just of being in the classroom and being with kids. I enjoy it. Teaching them different things and watching kids succeed in the classroom whenever someone's never built a shelf before, and then they come out and they build one, and it looks not perfect, but it looks pretty nice, that they can give for a gift and something they've never done before. So that's what it's all about, just teaching them different skills and things like that. That's the best part of my job.
Tell us why you wanted to become a teacher, and especially a teacher at Linton-Stockton.
Well, I really wasn't sure I wanted to be a teacher until I got in college. But once I decided to, these were my favorite classes when I was in high school, having Mr. Sparks as an ag, and then another teacher, Mr. Osborne, as my other shop teacher. So I enjoyed that, and I was like, you know what? This is what I can do. I was going to realize, you know what? For the rest of my life, I'll have a Christmas break, spring break, and summer break. You can't beat that. So that really what wanted me to be a teacher.
Thank you. This has been Jonathan Hayden and Alec Roach with Linton-Stock Student Press, and we thank Mr. Brian Oliver again for
Thank you.
his time. Thank you.